Would you like to work closer to home, save money on gas, and be rewarded for your hard work and attendance? Then Bellisio Foods is looking for you. That's right, Bellisio Foods is now hiring for multiple positions and shifts with great employee benefits, an on-site health clinic, competitive wages, and advancement opportunities. Bellisio Foods is a company that truly values their employees. Apply online at BellisioFoods.com/careers.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning show right here on Main Street TV, where it is it's a little, shall we say, brisk outside.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it's brisk. If you're going to be out, you might want to throw a jacket on, but later on, it's going to be really, really pretty outside. So just a little cool this morning, a little frost on the pumpkin, if you will. But we are here this morning with a special guest from Holzer, and you're even more special to me because you're my doctor. He's
Thank
like,
you.
great.
Thank you.
Dr. Lyndon Gaines is here with us this morning, and your official title is OBGYN, correct?
Yes.
And I guess, have you been here before?
No.
Trying to remember you.
Never
Oh
been.
my! How have we not suckered you into being here?
I don't know. Never caught up with me.
You drew the short straw this morning, didn't you? He's like, great. I have to finally go talk to that girl. But no, welcome. So if you would, you've been at Holzer for some time now. We like to just say a few years. We never say that we're old or anything's a really long time. It's just a few years ago. You've
Right,
been at
just a
Holzer
few,
for a few
just a
years.
few, yeah.
But if you would, just kind of tell everybody a little bit about your background, how you ended up here and all of that.
Well, I'm actually from Jackson County. I'm not a Jackson County native, but my family did move here when I was in junior high school. I graduated from Oak Hill High School.
Oh, okay.
And then once I graduated from high school, went to Ohio University for my undergraduate, Ohio State for my medical school. Did some time in the Navy, and
Awesome.
then came back home.
Thank you for your service.
Well, thank you.
And then, so tell us a little bit about when was the day that you decided that you wanted to be an OBGYN doctor?
Probably when I did as a medical student, your third and fourth year, what they call clinical rotations, when you actually go follow doctors and residents and stuff around and help them see patients and things. So probably when I did my third year rotation in medical school, when I decided.
And what was it that you loved about that specialty?
Probably what gets most of us who aren't already determined that's what we're going to do. A lot of it is really the delivering babies.
Babies.
Kind of get you, kind of get you hooked to begin with. And
I would say so. Yeah. Who doesn't love bringing a life into the world, right?
Right.
I get it. I could see. So you're a big old softie is what you're saying.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
So you graduated from medical school, and then have you worked at Holzer your whole career?
I did my residency and then my first 3 years after residency in the Navy.
Okay.
And then came back to Holzer after that.
Okay.
So you've been 1998 is when I started.
A few years ago. See, you're catching on.
Yeah.
It's always a few years ago. So, it's kind of ironic, like not every day do you get to put your own doctor on the spotlight here. So it's kind of fun to be able to talk with you just outside the office and whatnot, and find out some of the great things that you all do at Holzer. And I guess the main thing is, and we were talking off the air, is that as an OBGYN, I mean, you are handling everything from bringing a life into the world through the woman's life.
Right.
That's a pretty long stretch.
Yes.
So I guess let's start with, when should women start to come to see you to begin with?
Well, it's recommended that if they have no other reason to establish OBGYN care before then, that women start having pap smears and seeing an OBGYN at about the age of 21.
Okay.
We see, lots of women before then because needs for birth control and, other things, menstrual problems and things like that.
Yeah. And that's we women sometimes things just get all a mess, don't they? Okay, so about 21, if you haven't had any problems
Right.
before.
Yeah.
I just got together with my friends from college and over the weekend, and we have one friend that she just refuses. She's never been. I'm like,
That's not recommended, but
we all just have stopped arguing with her about it. But
yeah.
whatever. She's had kids. I don't know.
Right.
I mean, she's had that part of it, but yeah. So please go. And let's talk about the importance of the screenings and it's not just so Holzer can make money off of pap smears and mammograms. Like, let's talk
Right.
about that. Why is it so very important for women?
Starting with pap smears. Pap smears, of course, are screening for cervical cancer.
Okay.
And the pap smear system works because there are changes that take place in the cells of the cervix long before it develops into cervical cancer. So those can be caught and treated
Okay.
and monitored so that the ultimate goal would be to prevent a cervical cancer from occurring, or if it does happen to get through and it occurs caught in the very early stages when it is treatable and by and large curable. So that's the major reason for the pap smears. And really, in my practice, most of the cases of cervical cancer that I do see are women. They haven't had a pap smear in 10 years or 20 years.
Yeah.
And now they come in with symptoms, and then, but usually by the time they have symptoms with cervical cancer, then they're in sometimes the more advanced stages and
Okay.
less chance of ultimately being cured.
What would what would the symptoms be if you're one of those that are refusing for screenings and things?
Abnormal bleeding is probably the number one
Okay.
symptom of advanced cervical cancer.
And I guess, listen, none of us can control our bodies, right? And
Right.
we can't control where these cancer cells or if they strike us.
Right.
But cervical cancer to me seems to be probably the top of something that's very easily prevented.
Yes, yeah, it is by and large preventable. There are some forms of cervical cancer that are kind of out there, kind of weird, that may not be as preventable. But most of your garden variety cervical cancers are preventable.
Okay. So then we get into, I think there's different stages of a woman's life, right? And I know the stage that I'm in right now, which is old as dirt, by the way. So when you're 21, you typically go and you get the pap smear and
Right.
that's it. And, birth control or whatever it is that you're, wanting to do. And then you get into like maybe go by decade. You get into your 30s. Then, what are some of the things that women need to do then?
In the 30s, there's no major changes really from in screenings and things, say from the 20s, other than maybe around the age of 35 for some women who have family history of things like breast cancer, ovarian cancer, things like that. They may start breast cancer screening
Okay.
that soon with mammograms, but usually we don't recommend, starting breast cancer screening in women of average risk until about the age of 40.
Okay, so about 40.
Yeah.
And just out of my own knowledge, let's talk about the mammogram that Holzer has, which is now the 3D.
Yeah.
It is so cool.
Right.
Can we talk about why it's a bit better than a normal 2D image? Because like I guess a 2D image would be what you had before, or
Yeah. Before it was 2D. Now it's 3D. They call it tomosynthesis is the name, where they take different views and they kind of put together a 3D picture. So it is basically just more sensitive in picking up early changes than the old 2D.
And so, are you the one? So, say Jen comes in, which I need to come see you, by the way. It's October. I come in October because it's, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and it makes me remember. Um, so, say Jen comes in for a mammogram, and what perhaps does the 3D advantage over the old school mammogram?
Mainly just more in the sensitivity, the ability to pick up changes
Okay.
in the picture, the radiographic picture of the breast that would prompt us to do more testing.
Okay. And what for the doctor's part of that, are you sent that mammogram, or is that a completely different department that looks at that? How's that work?
That is a totally different doctor who actually reads the mammogram. The radiologist reads the mammogram.
And then you report back to the patient,
Report
the
back to
good, bad, or
yep,
the ugly, or
report back to the patient and take care of them. And basically for breast health and stuff, we're basically kind of like primary care for that. We do the exams, we get the mammograms,
okay.
and then if there are problems, then usually say requiring a biopsy or something, then we'll refer on to general surgery.
Okay. All right. For that. And we pray that nobody has to, that we're not doing
Right,
that. Right.
right.
But no, because I'm very inquisitive as I interview by nature. I was looking when I went in last year to get the mammogram. It was the first time I'd had the 3D mammogram because I'd missed it by like 2 months the year before. But they were showing me like kind of it almost looks like different slices, like it's like you roll through
Right.
almost. And they were showing me that, well, see, there's like a little dot right there. Before maybe you would have gotten called in for that, but we can move to the next slice and realize that it's not
Right.
going any further.
Yes.
So that prevents that from happening. And I guess I was reading something not too long ago that it said that women tend to, if we do get called in for things like that, we tend to be scared to go the following year for follow-ups and things like that. Have you witnessed that? And if you can prevent, my point is, if you can prevent not getting that call,
Right. Yeah.
you're more likely to go back, because
Right.
none of us want to hear bad news,
Right.
or be scared.
Right. So, I guess probably have seen it every now and then, but a lot of times it will also just prompt being better about coming in and
Okay.
following up on it.
And we hope that's what
Yeah.
it does. Okay. So let's talk about the dreaded menopause.
Okay.
When do women start kind of, because I keep hearing this term perimenopause.
Right.
And as I have gotten together with my girlfriends from college, as we're all the same age, the horror stories have begun about this, that, and the other thing. But when do you kind of start as a woman to see changes?
Oh, changes can, take place. First of all, the average age of menopause is about 50. We say 48 to 52 is kind of the average age range.
Okay.
But changes can take place 5, even 10 years before that, as far as maybe start having some of the flushing and sometimes menstrual irregularities. Sometimes can be skipping periods, or sometimes it can be like really heavy periods.
Or every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Or
frequent periods. Yeah.
We'll talk about that too. Off the air. But no, and it is so interesting when you get a group of girls together, in my experience, where there's 8 or 10 of us sitting around talking about all of our ailments at this moment in our lives, that you do find, though, that you have a lot in common with women that are your age.
Right.
Some, as you said, maybe started a little earlier or later, but we're all kind of going through the same stuff together. So what is menopause exactly?
Menopause is basically the cessation or the stopping of ovarian function. So at that point, you stop ovulating, producing eggs, and along with that also comes decrease in hormone production. So your estrogen levels tend to fall off, and that's what causes most of the flushing and things like that. It's basically like an estrogen withdrawal kind of
Okay.
thing. Um, so yeah, basically menopause is the when the ovaries cease to function, and I mean the menopause really means kind of stopping of
The pause.
yeah,
It's pausing.
menopause just kind of means cessation of periods, menstruation and things like that. But really, it's the ovaries that are the
The
lead,
culprit.
yeah, the culprit, the leader in the cessation, all that
Okay.
reproductive function.
And there's just no way for us to avoid it, is there?
No, there's no way to really avoid menopause.
So the night sweats and all of that are it's gonna happen if you're
Right.
blessed to be a woman.
Yes. Yep. They're going to happen. There are ways of treating them, and but yeah, eventually it's going to happen. Yeah, naturally 48 to 52 for the average age. Of course, some women will go through much earlier because they have their ovaries surgically removed for different reasons.
Different reasons, sure. Okay. All right. And so we talked about mammograms. We talked about so what are some of the things that you can do as a woman that is we talk about I hear perimenopause and then menopause. That's kind of like premenopause, right? Or what is
Yeah,
perimenopause?
perimenopause is when a woman starts to develop some symptoms,
Okay.
but her ovaries really haven't ceased to function yet.
Okay.
So maybe there is a decline in estrogen. The thing about estrogen is the normal range, if you measure it, is very wide. So, it's hard to, unless it's like postmenopausal range, it's hard to measure someone at a certain point. If they're in the normal range, well, maybe they're in the normal range, but it was twice what it is, a few years,
Sure.
a few years ago, it's twice what it is now.
So you kind of need to know what your range is
right
per the person.
Right.
So what are some of the things that a woman like Jen's age here can do? Are there any, lifestyle changes or foods or vitamins or anything that one can do to kind of help this trot along?
Well, mainly as with everything, we say, healthy diet, exercise, things like that. There are some herbal things that sometimes women take for, like the flushing and things like that. Black cohosh comes to mind, and lots of,
Just
lots of
Google it.
supplements. Yeah, Google it. And lots of supplements, in the GNC store or on Amazon or whatever that market themselves as helping with the menopause. And there are also sometimes prescription medications that can help with menopause.
So someone that's 50-ish, I'm not there yet, ish. Are there, as we moved, we were talking about the 30s and, things you would do then in the 40s. Are there things that women should do, tests perhaps, or blood work or something of that nature that we should start paying attention to?
40s is usually when you do start your screening mammograms.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and it depends on what national society you're talking about, what they recommend. Most of us, I think, probably follow the American College of OBGYN, and they recommend from the ages of 40 to 40 to 74 to every 1 to 2 years
for the mammograms,
depending on what the patient and the doctor decide to do. American Cancer Society says it's optional between 40 and 44, 45 to 54. Should be getting them yearly. 55 and above, they can cut down to every other year if things are fine. The CDC says just do every other year between 40 and 74.
Okay, so it's clear as mud.
Yeah, yeah. So we probably me and probably most of my colleagues would just say just start at 40 and get them every year,
Yeah.
unless there's a reason that you don't want to. So just start at 40 and get them every year.
Yeah. I mean, for me, listen, if there is something in there, it's not going to go away on its own. You
Right.
you can't, avoidance is
Right.
not the answer.
Absolutely.
I know that none of us want the news.
Yeah.
Certainly not, but please, please, please make sure that you go. And there's help, right, for women that maybe don't have insurance or are underinsured. I think that there's some different grants and
Yes,
things out there.
there are programs out there. Let's see. Trying to think what the modern name of it. I think it's Southeastern Ohio Cervical Cancer Project, whatever. They can help women who are uninsured or underinsured
Sure.
with the cost of like screening pap smears and mammograms. And like that.
There's no, so you don't have an excuse. I guess
there are
that's my point of
there
that
are
whole thing.
programs out there that will help pay for them. Yes.
Okay. All right. Very good. So, what else would you like our viewers to know while you're here? He's a really nice dude. You should have him as your doctor. Are you accepting new patients?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Yep. So you can call the phone, we'll call it the phone center or central scheduling for OBGYN. I think it's 740-446-5381. Go on the Holzer website.
Yes. So good.
Established Holzer patients who have the patient portal can go on the patient portal and schedule.
And that's so nice too, because you can get your test results.
Right.
Like you can
Yes,
see.
that patient portal is.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's very convenient.
Pay your bill.
Yeah.
All the things.
It's very convenient because it allows back and forth communication in your own time. Like, we're not, either me or my staff is not on the phone trying to get somebody to answer or anything like that. You can send them a message and, they can look at it 2 hours later or whatever.
Sure.
And then get back to us. And then we can see it, a little bit later in the day and go back and forth that way instead of trying to catch somebody at the perfectly right time for the communication to take place.
Everybody's kind of busy. So, well, very good. Is there anything we didn't cover that you wanted to let our viewers know?
No, I don't think so. I think
he's like, just get me out of here. All right, Mason, you should take him to 6 cents for lunch. Okay. So what is your favorite part about working at Holzer?
My favorite part about working at Holzer, probably being back home in my own community. And
sure.
Of course, I've been back home for a long time.
Few years.
And just taking care of, the community that I pretty much grew up in. And
yeah, it's like giving back, like paying it forward,
back,
right?
Yep.
That's awesome. All right. Well, Dr. Gaines, we appreciate you for stopping by this morning. And we won't keep you. We know that you are very busy seeing patients today. So, all right. Adrian, I think do we have a message? And then we have a video. And then we'll be back with news.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do what Adrian says. And we'll be back with news on the other side.
We're just waiting to be told how we're going to do things. So we should be able, I think they're going to post some things on Facebook and try to keep people in the loop as what's going on when we get ready to go again.
And we're waiting on some of the football guys. We're on a tight time schedule, but they must be really preparing today for Wellston. But we do, they lost to Nelsonville York last week. Nelsonville York looked like a really good team. They got Wellston, the arch rival, coming up. It's kind of like Ohio State, Michigan. Wellston even wears those colors, Jeff.
Yes, they do. That's one of the things.
While we're waiting on Marcus and the other 4 seniors, we do have Brian Campbell. Let's get Brian in here.
Here he comes.
Interview the other seniors. So, Brian, come on in. Right here, Brian. Brian is a senior. He plays line. And good to see you, Brian.
Oh, how are you,
Good, Brian. This is Jeff. And Brian also wrestles, right?
Yes, sir.
So you get a double dose of coach games.
Yes, sir.
So Is it more fun being on his team when you're playing football or wrestling?
I'd probably have to say wrestling just because that's the thing that really holds my heart.
Holds your
But
heart? Okay.
it sure is a lot of fun playing football for him.
It is. It is. What are your plans when you get out of school, Brian?
I'm hoping to join a labor union and just
That's
work and.
I know you work at Campbell's too, right?
Yes, sir.
That's
yes,
good.
Sir.
So he's a good kid, works hard. And what's the thing you're going to remember most about this season?
It's probably just going to be the times I got to spend with guys that I've been going to school with since grade school and middle school. It was just a really good time getting to be there with them.
10 of you guys, and you guys will always be teammates forever, no matter how many years
Yes,
it
sir.
takes. Yep. And so you got Wellston coming up. You guys ready for that?
Yeah. We've been trying to prepare all week, and I think we're ready. I think we're ready to go into it.
And I think that we'll ask Marcus when he gets here, if you guys do have a chance of going to the playoffs, perhaps if you do win. So it'd take a long trip, but it'd be worth it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, just to get another game in, it'd be nice.
That'd be good. And obviously Nelsonville was a tough one for you guys.
Yeah, it was a bad night.
Yeah. So your plans already work for a labor union. What do you want to do?
Probably just be a laborer eventually. Hopefully get some heavy machinery licensing and run machines one day. Make good money, hopefully.
That's good. And so you're going to miss these 10 guys, huh?
Yeah, I am. A lot of these guys, like, I know Bowen, me and him have been going to school together since we started school. And I know most of the...
West Elementary?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I've known most of these guys since either West or elementary school, so it's really been great getting to see everybody grow up, and it's nice to see everybody getting ready to graduate and everything.
What do you like playing better, offense or defense?
I prefer playing D-end.
D-end? Okay, that's good. That's
Defense.
good. And so you guys are ready this week, and Marcus has you, I'm sure, probably doing some strange stuff with you guys up there to get you prepared, right?
Yeah, I'm sure you've met Marcus before.
I've coached with Marcus. Trust me, I know. Marcus says he's on his way,
All right.
so that's good. Jeff, I guess anything you got for Brian?
Well, does it seem like just the other day you were like in first grade? Has this went really fast?
Yeah, it's kind of wild and nervy being a senior in high school. This is really the end of it all.
Oh yeah.
Well, it kind of is, but it's also kind of
Yeah.
It's really just the end of a chapter.
Well,
You got a whole
school,
book.
you
Yeah.
know what I mean.
People don't realize when they're in high school, it's the best time of your life because you're going to be around people your own age, and then you get out of school, you got to be with old guys like
Oh
you.
yeah, us guys.
Jeff
Yeah.
and I. So anybody you want to send a shout out to?
I want to say thank you to all the guys that have been here for this football season. I'm glad I got to play football with all you guys. I love my family. Thank you guys, and it was great to see you. Thank you.
Well, Brian, thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it.
Thanks
Always
for
enjoyed
spending a
you.
couple
Thank you.
minutes
It was
with
very
us. We
nice.
appreciate it.
We're still waiting on Marcus. So, Jeff,
Well, Bob, what you can do is kind of go over. You've got a format of what we're
Yeah,
going to try to get
okay.
done tonight.
We-
Go over that.
And if we go a little over, I guess we got Jimmy and is Faith here? Is Faith
Well,
here?
let's talk to
Is
Faith.
Coach K here? Let's bring Faith in.
Come here, Faith.
We're just going a little bit off.
We're just
cue.
going out of
We're going a
schedule.
little
It's all
bit
right.
off cue. This one, I've been waiting to interview this kid for 16 years, so it's good. Here you go, Faith. Put this on. I know Faith is probably nervous. So, Faith,
Does she admit
are
knowing
you
you?
nervous?
What?
Are you nervous?
Kind of.
Well, you just say whatever you want to because no one listens to us anyway. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Faith played basketball for me last year. It was a good time, Faith. I loved having you on my team. So, and you're going to be in the regionals this week. Is that right?
Yeah.
Are you excited about that? Second time.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Your dad came in. He can take some pictures if he wants to. That's fine.
He doesn't want to ruin a good
Here,
camera.
here, you can use mine. Here you go. You want to use it? Yeah, Jimmy, her dad, Donnie, is the great photographer for the school, so he does a really good job, so we want to make sure he gets this. Anyway, Faith, what made you start running cross country?
Coach offered for me to come out, and he said that if I didn't like it, I didn't have to come back. And I told him, I don't know if I like it. He told me to keep coming back. It'll get better, and I just stayed with it.
Didn't I threaten to court order you if you didn't run?
You did, yeah.
Okay, all right. All right.
That has a lot to do with it right there.
I'm a big
sheesh.
fan. I'm a big fan of the Goodson family. They're great, and your dad's a teacher out here, right?
Yeah.
So, did you ever? You're not driving yet, are you?
No, I get my permit in
He
January.
could really get you in shape by having you run in from Wilkesville and back. You know that? But he's pretty nice, right?
Yeah.
All right, all right.
That look said a lot right there. Like, no, Dad, you're not getting me to run from Wilkesville.
And so, are you looking forward to being in the regionals?
Yes, I am.
And you made all league this year, right?
Yeah.
That's good. So good. What's your plans when you get out of college?
High
At,
school.
High school.
High school, I mean, yeah.
I don't know yet.
Okay, well that's okay. Jeff and I are going to be 68. We don't know what
We still
wanna
don't
do
know what
yet.
we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
we've had jobs for years and
are-
we still don't know what we're
Are you
doing.
interested in running in college? Maybe.
Maybe. It
Maybe.
depends on
Depends.
how it ends up senior year.
Yeah. Well, you know what the coach is going to say. He's going to say, well, come out if you don't like it. And, and then keep coming. You'll like it. You know that deal. You know how it works.
My court order won't have any effect on you when you're past 18. So I'm just kidding. She's never been in court. So and then you run track as well, right?
Yes.
And what do you run in track?
The 800, the mile, the 4x8, and the 4x4.
And do you run with your sister Hope?
No.
Okay. You guys do different events.
We run the 400 together sometimes, but we're never together the same heat.
Well, that's good. That's good. Are you guys kind of rivals?
I mean, we kind of support each other some days, other days.
Your sisters.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And Will supports both of you, right?
Yeah.
Your brother. Oh, that's good. That's good. So, what do you think of Coach K? He's a great coach.
Oh, he's great.
He is great. Coach Lyndon too. So, so you're the only girl going to the regionals.
Yeah.
Does that make you feel lonely?
Today was the only first practice I had by myself because right after regionals, whenever I qualified, Coach K walked up to Alyssa Beckner. He said, "Are you going to run with her?" She said, "Without a doubt, I'll run with her for the next week." So she's been with me.
Alyssa's great.
I love her.
She's
I couldn't have done it without her.
She's great. She's great. And you guys got second in the league. You ran into a buzzsaw there with Athens.
Yeah.
Athens is a team that probably could win the whole state.
Oh, they are so good. They're the most talented.
That was the
people
most
ever.
that was the most impressive athletic feat I've ever seen. Just zipping everybody by about a good minute and a half. They were impressive. You almost got the fifth one though.
Yeah,
You
not
almost
they're not only athletic, but they are just the sweetest
Well, they
people.
had five. Yes, they are. And then they had great kids. And then they had like the next 6 or 7. They were
Yeah.
impressive. They were impressive. Well, anybody want to send a shout out to?
Just my team. I could have done it without them. It's running. Running is not always fun, so I would come to practice sometimes just after a long day of school. I would be unmotivated, and they would all cheer me up. We would do handstands. We would just make practice fun.
Well, I had you in basketball. I can't imagine you not making any team fun. So you were a fun kid to have in a team. One of the funnest kids I've ever coached, no question. So anyway, and shout out to your mom, dad, brother, sister.
All of them.
Okay, all right. Well, it's a pleasure, Faith. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're naturally going to take Jeff and I's job.
Yeah, it does. Doesn't she?
That's
Sounds
she's
like
really
it. Yeah.
Good. She's good. All right, we'll bring in. We'll
Who's
bring
out?
in Marcus.
Here
next.
comes Marcus.
Thank you, Faith.
Thank you, Faith.
Take care. We're going a little bit out of order because we're on a strict time schedule here today. But Coach Games is in here. I think he could still, the way he came in here, I think he could still run a 40 and under 5. What do you
I think he could still play.
I couldn't run under 5 when I played.
Well,
Yeah, but we're helping.
we're trying to get you. Tough one with Nelsonville.
Very tough, very tough. They were Nelsonville, and they kind of figured out where we're kind of young and weak at, and they exploited it like you should. And I thought they beat us in all facets of the game. We had some times where, man, it felt like we could kind of maybe get in a rhythm, and we'd rough a punter, pass interference here and there, So it felt like there were some moments, and we didn't feel terrible at halftime, but then we came out there and they we botched the kickoff a little bit. We weren't wanting to kick it that short. Gave our defense a short field, and then when they scored that one, it was going to be tough to get back in it.
They're going to be pretty good next year. Sophomore quarterback, the junior running back got here. I think his dad actually played here, and they're going to be pretty tough again next year.
Yeah, no, talking to their coach, but 14 that Inman, he's a senior, but 26, yeah, he's a junior, tough kid. And then I was real impressed, 73 and 75, and they're both
big,
juniors.
Big.
Yeah, but both
Extremely big.
big, and 73 can move.
Yeah.
But 75 is a player.
Well, we'll switch over to Wellston here.
Yeah.
And So now you still have playoff opportunities, right?
We do. I mean, we got to win, and but we're not so worried about that. It's just about beating Wellston at this point.
Yeah, win if you win. I just heard Diana Ross coming in saying there ain't no mountain high enough. So I think you guys can climb that mountain. Go to St. Clairsville, India.
Heck yeah,
Yes, sir. You got to be positive. Man. You gotta be positive.
Yeah.
That's it. So you guys ready for Wellston?
I think so. I mean, we know them real well. They do. We're real familiar with their offense and their defense, and they've got a good senior class.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. And they've won some games this year. We think we match up pretty well with them, and I think it's going to be a fun game because it's going to be a dog fight, and it may be more than a dog fight. There might be some fights that worries me a little bit.
Well, they all go to school together.
Yeah, they all go to school, and everybody wants it. This is a pride game, and this one is one that you'll talk about the rest of the year whenever you're hanging out in the lunchroom at Buckeye Hills. So it's a big deal.
Right. And you injury free going into this?
We're pretty good right now. We're pretty healthy. Nothing that I can think of that's
We just talked to Brian Campbell. He did a great job for us.
Yeah.
He loves wrestling for you because that's his thing. You got 4 other seniors. Looks like
Yep.
Lane out there, and who else?
You got Lane, Clayton Lester, Luke Dimmel, and Hunter Hoyt.
Okay, well, I think we've had them all, but we'll get them again.
we'll
There we
talk
go.
again.
So we'll
There we
bring
go.
it.
Second time around.
Who wants to come
Who's up first? Luke's up first. Come on, Luke.
We're kind of doing this one on the fly, Marcus, trying to get everybody in, so stick around. We'll probably get you back.
Yeah, we'll get you toward the end.
Huh?
You doing cross country and all that?
Yeah, Larry did. Yeah, we're going to do cross
Yeah.
country, and we're going to do golf as well.
Yep. Where'd he go?
So who's coming in? Luke?
Luke is coming in.
I got a couple big questions for Luke. Come on.
I got one too. So if you don't ask mine, we're all good.
You want to ask yours?
Now you go ahead.
All right, my question for Luke is, the guy scored 3 defensive touchdowns. Why aren't you carrying the rock?
I don't know.
I mean,
Good answer.
I'm sure you've asked him, haven't you?
We had a bone play that was last year, first play of the game, but I didn't make it very far because we missed a couple blocks.
We had Hunter in there, so you know you should put Hunter. Hunter did okay.
Hunter ran the wedge.
Yeah.
You should, but they got to give Luke. If you scored 3 touchdowns, you did a little like shimmy or something after the last one.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about
We need
that.
to talk about that.
Yeah, we got to talk about. That's my question. What are we calling this
What
shimmy
do we
thing?
call that?
There has to be a name.
Well, Goodson took a picture of it and called it the Thicky Shuffle, so
Okay, that's
I'll,
kind of good.
we'll run with that.
Yeah,
That's-
that's
that-
kind of
we'll
good.
run- we'll
We'll
run.
kind of go with that.
Like the day, the whole week after that, everybody was like, "Come on, show me the Thicky Shuffle," and I was like, "Come on, guys,
Named
You
after
know they're not going to let it go.
you can only do that in the
They'll be
moment."
asking you that for years to come.
Yeah.
I think last time we talked to you the first week, that basically you're go to Buckeye Hills, right?
Yeah.
What do you want to do when you get out?
So today I went to the operators union
Oh, good.
to apply for that. So hopefully we're gonna go.
Good
join the
deal. You get into
operators.
that, you will be set.
Yeah.
Are you
sure.
any interest in still playing, or is that done after this?
I don't know. I'm still kind of on the fence about it.
You've had a great year. I mean, as good as any lineman I can remember in our Jeff. How many years we done this?
35.
35 years. You've had a tremendous year and career. So, you like playing defense or offense better?
Definitely defense.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah.
I can tell. I'll tell you one thing. We always say if there's a tackle on the field, we're pretty comfortable if we don't know who did it. If we say Dimmel, Hayburn, or Lester gets the tackle, we're pretty
Yeah.
confident we have about a 75% chance. So.
Yeah.
So what are you going to miss most, Luke, about being here?
Just playing with my friends probably. It's probably the thing I'll miss the most.
You know, and then you had a youth coach that had you at fullback instead of playing you on the line. So just think if I would have done the right thing and played you on the line back then, how good you'd be right now. You'd
Yeah.
probably be winning like the Outland Trophy for the best lineman.
Oh, there you go.
But your youth coach just messed up. That would be me.
No, it's okay.
Those were good times, though. They were.
I
good.
turned out all right. I
You
think.
were. I still
I think
remember
you
you
did.
carrying the ball. You had your biggest gain against Rock Hill, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yes.
that was great. We walked out in the field, thought we were in the NFL. It was a beautiful.
That was scary.
Oh, that place
It
is
was,
beautiful.
It
It was
was.
scary.
Yeah, that place is beautiful.
That's good. So you guys ready for Wilson?
Yeah, I think so. I think tomorrow's practice is going to be great. We're going to go into Wellston and take care of business.
You guys see these guys at school every day, right?
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. It's definitely it's different.
you guys been talking a little smack.
Yeah, because you walk in and you want to talk smack, but you don't really want to be like.
On the bulletin board?
Yeah, you don't want to add bulletin board material.
Yeah.
No, don't
Yeah.
do that.
Well, anybody want to send a shout out to?
Just the coaches, really. Coach Fry,
Okay.
Coach Usley.
That's cool. That's cool.
So,
All right, Lucas, always been.
Thank
You had a
you.
great year.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We probably owe you about.
Thank
Probably
you.
could have given him the big hit of the week about 10 times this year.
We probably could have, but
Yeah,
he'd have got
yeah.
sick of wearing this.
Yeah,
Man,
same.
maybe we can paint the back of one of the shirts that show the Thicky Shuffle or
Yeah, the
something. We can
thickest
get a
shot.
picture.
Yeah, the thickest
All we
shot.
need is a
If
picture.
you win, you got to do the thickest shot.
okay. All right. I'll do that for you.
Thank you, Lucas. We'll get whichever
Thank
one
you.
wants to come in next.
See
to
ya.
you, Lucas.
Who's next, boys?
Who's next, guys?
I see him coming. He's looking in a mirror, make sure he looks good for the camera.
He's looking good. What's up? Clayton Lester. How you doing, Clayton?
All right.
Good. This guy's also had a great career here. I mean, you could see it last year when you came in at the end of the year. You started running the ball real hard, and this year the same thing. And you go to quarterback. You can play about any position, right?
Yeah.
What position you like best?
Probably running back.
Running back. Okay.
Yeah.
And defensively, playing free safety, some corner. We said to Luke that if we miss who made the tackle, if we make up Luke Dimmel, Clayton Lester, or Hunter Hoyt,
We're close.
We've got probably 75% chance we're correct. So.
Yeah.
Do you like playing? You like playing running back better than defense?
I don't know. It depends
Yeah.
on the day, I guess.
Yeah,
I like defense. I used to like defense a lot better.
Yeah, but well, you score touchdowns. Everybody likes somebody that scores touchdowns.
sure.
You know, that's kind of the way it goes. Are you you guys ready for Wellston?
Yeah.
Now, where do you go? You go to Buckeye Hills?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's right. So you go to Buckeye Hills. So you guys see these guys every day, right, from Wellston?
Yep.
You guys talk a lot of smack?
Yeah.
Okay, so they talk smack back?
Yeah.
Good natured, though.
Yeah.
You guys are friends except probably Friday.
Yeah.
That's
very
it?
much.
Okay. All right, and you guys ready for them?
Yeah.
What are you going to miss most about playing here?
The people, everybody.
Your teammates?
Yeah.
And what about
Coaches.
Coach Games? Is he a special kind of cat or what?
Yeah.
He really is.
He's a
He
good
really
dude.
is.
Yep.
And who's your offensive coach is Coach Long and Coach Mendez, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Do they have a specific running back coach or those two guys?
Usually.
Uzi?
Uzi.
Okay. Well, he was pretty good.
Yeah.
He was an All-American.
He
You
knew
can't
what
get
he was
much better
doing,
than that.
yeah.
Yeah. That's it. And who's your defensive back coach?
Mike Hire.
Mike Hire. Okay. That's good.
Yep.
That's good. What are your plans for when you get out of school?
Go work.
Okay.
AP doing power lineman and stuff.
What are you studying at Buckeye Hills?
HVAC.
HVAC, okay. My air conditioning breaks down a lot. I'll give you a call. So that's
All right.
good. That's good. And I think
That's
around
good.
here it's going to probably happen more and more as the weather gets hotter and things
Yep.
like that. So, anybody you want to send a shout out to? Grandpa.
Grandpa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Family.
Get some family in there somewhere, and you're good no matter what.
Got to get some family. Are you going to miss? How does it feel being in the same backfield with the lane train? I didn't say lame train. I said lane train. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
It's good.
He's great.
He's like, yeah.
And he was another guy I had at a missed position when I coached him. So if I would have had him,
I suppose you played him at center.
no, I had him at running back.
Okay.
I had him at running back when I moved him to quarterback the last game, and he scored like 5 touchdowns. So where was I? It was just like I had Luke Dimmel at fullback. Should have had him on the line. But, I was a bad coach. We won games, though. That's all that mattered. So anyway, always a pleasure. I enjoy you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good seeing you again, young man.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
All right, and we are back again. Thanks to Dr. Lyndon Gaines from Holzer for stopping by this morning and seeing us and talking about women's health. Of course, as we continue on in October, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and what better time to schedule all your women tests than this month?
Yeah.
It's a good reminder for me. It's when I always schedule everything. So.
Right. Yeah. You got to do those things. I'm not.
None of us like it,
Yeah,
but
yeah, don't-
whatever.
Yeah. I'm not the best example of that. I will admit, but I know better. I know better. I always think, well, if I don't check under the hood, they won't find anything wrong. But if there is, you need to find those kind of
Yeah,
things
it
out.
won't go away on its own
No,
for
it
sure.
it won't. It won't.
So, well, you are here to do the news, and my goodness, it just continues on. So
No, there's always stuff.
there's always something
Okay,
going on.
well, one of the newest things that happens on the business beat, and the Jackson Family Dollar Store, which is located at 113 East Main Street. That is across the street from the filling station. If you're
Yes.
trying to think where that is, and it will be closing.
That's so
This
sad.
just appeared, I guess, on the door. There, we should have a picture of that there, Adrian. A note saying closing appeared. There it is. Now I think
Wow.
most people will recognize that. It used to be Odd Lots there. Maybe you remember that. And
So-
before that, though, for many years, it was Kroger.
I was gonna say, I'm trying to think back when I was a little girl. That was a grocery store, wasn't it?
It was a grocery store. I'm not sure that was the original use for it, but I think it was. That's where Kroger was for years and years
And
before
then
they
Big
built
Lots
the.
was there.
I think it was well.
Or
Remember,
Odd
Odd
Lots.
Lots
It was Odd
became
Lots
Big
then.
Lots.
Yeah.
I think they were there for a little while, and then they went to the shopping
Okay.
center. And I'm saying that's I think is correct because somebody else remembered that way too. So unless we're both wrong,
Okay.
for
No,
a
I
while-
believe
for a while
you.
there, that was the bridge between for that building, and I know it was empty there for a while too after Kroger moved. But anyway, the Family Dollar, of course, that's a big chain.
Yeah.
And it's easy to get mixed up with the Dollar Generals and the Dollar Trees
I
and all
know.
like that. And I saw on the net where a large number of Family Dollar stores are being closed across the nation. This one is being closed, and I called the store, and they said November 16th is their last day, and they are doing discounts and all like that.
Okay.
So I know you discounts hounds, you might want to check that out. Fairly good sized store there.
Yeah.
But the Family Dollar stores that are nearby, we want to say this: Wellston, Oak Hill, Wilkesville, and MacArthur. They're all have Family Dollar stores. They are not closing. They are remaining open at least for now.
Okay.
I think there's a store that has or will close in Bidwell. I tried to do a Google search to see if other stores nearby were closing, and there is a lengthy list in Ohio for this calendar year for the recent months. And those stores that have a lease or whatever, they will continue until that lease expires, and then they will close. So,
Okay.
and I think that might be the situation with the Jackson store.
Well, I was going to ask you that.
It is
and
not owned by.
Who owns the building?
It is. I saw the name, and I think that it is a development company that owns the buildings, and then the store chain leases. There is a relationship there.
Okay.
Because a lot of times when the discount stores build a building, they have a certain contractor do it. They have a formula on how they do things.
Yes.
And I think, this may not be totally uniform, and there's Dollar General, and as we know, there's different ones, but their templates seem to be that they lease their buildings.
Okay.
They lease their buildings. Even the ones that they may build, they lease their buildings through another company.
Gotcha.
But there is different ownership for that building.
Okay.
And I did not recognize the name. So if it's local, that's just a name they use for their real estate holdings or whatever.
Okay. Interesting.
But
Because that's a
any-
pretty big building to sit empty, I guess was my.
Well, okay, I've got the name here. It's owned by Sterling Call Family LLC. Does that ring any bell with you? Sterling Call Family LLC.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Probably not local. Probably
Probably
not
not.
local. If it is, let us know, folks. But anyway, that building was purchased in 2007, which I think may be about the time maybe Family Dollar located in there. So there's your connection,
Sure.
with the owner of the building and the discount. The building itself goes all the way back to 1951, by the way, and I think that
Okay.
was probably built by Kroger or for
Probably.
Kroger.
Yeah.
So anyway, we will have a little bit of information in the paper on that. We've already got something on Facebook on that. Okay, here is a kind of a bittersweet story that came from the senior night activities at Wellston High School. That was last Friday when the Rockets played their last home game against Vinton County. In the senior night, all the sports teams and the band, were honored, their senior members. Well, they took time to honor the late Olivia Montgomery.
Oh,
Remember,
okay.
Olivia Liv
Yeah.
Montgomery, just one of the more respected and beloved students in Wellston, battled cancer for a number of years, passed away last May 6th. That would have been near the end of her junior season. And they did they honored her. Her family members came out onto the field, when she would have come out. Here are their family members, by the way. This will be, by the way, featured in our Wednesday edition of the paper. But from the left, you have Tisha Montgomery, which is her mother, Brent Montgomery, her father, Bailey Montgomery, one of her sisters. Josie McCain was in that list. Was a best friend of Liv. Hadley Montgomery, another sister, and Piper Montgomery, another sister. Olivia would have been a senior, of course, this year. And, the band program and the other band students wanted her to be memorialized.
That's awesome.
Even, months after her unfortunate death. But Liv was not only a member of the Marching Golden Rockets band, she played the flute, but also very active in 4-H. You remember the honors and tributes she had at the last Jackson County Fair. So sad, but showing that, the love for Olivia has not passed just because she is no longer here. All right. Cheers to the JHS competition cheerleaders.
Well, okay.
Do you remember how well they did last year? They went to Orlando, and they were international champions in different divisions of the AmeriCheer competition, which is considered an international competition in Orlando. Well, they're at it again. Their competition year beginning a little earlier. You just saw Adrian put up their picture. They were at a competition, I believe it was at Olentangy Berlin High School near Delaware.
Sure.
And they won first place in their category, and they are considered regional champs. And that automatically qualified them for a national competition that, according to one of their co-coaches, Courtney Butcher, is a higher level of competition than they've even done in the past.
Oh, cool.
It is the Universal Cheerleaders Association, the UCA. This was a regional qualifier, and their first place finish in their division qualifies them for the UCA Nationals, which will be in February, and it's also in Orlando at Disney World.
Nice.
So the girls already know, and their parents and fans and support group already know that they're heading to Florida in February.
That's awesome. Way to go, girls.
A national competition. And Courtney Butcher, along with Tiffany Boggs, are the co-coaches, and they must do a great job because
yes.
I mean, these girls, whenever they're in these regional, state, or national competitions, they're at the top of the list.
Every time.
And you got to give them credit for that and all the hard work that they do. It's off the radar from some of the other sports and athletics and like that. But, we see the band all the time during football games and in parades. Well, the competition cheerleaders do their thing away from home.
Right.
And so,
I know.
it's
It's kind of
easy
different,
to not know or give them credit for all that they do. But we'll have that picture in Wednesday's paper, all their names in the paper as well. And they certainly do need credit for their achievement and the fact that they will be going to Florida. All right, of course, early voting is continuing. We're going to have some more information about the election in the next two editions of the Telegram, but we want to tell you on the early in-person voting, as we've tried to tell you almost every time, because we want you to be able to vote and not forget it, and for you to know that there's a lot of time for you to cast those early in-person votes. The in-person voting times at the boards of elections in Jackson and Benton County, and for that matter, elections boards all over the state today, is 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. The rest of the weekdays, it's 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. And then this weekend, from 8 to 4 on Saturday and 1 to 5 on Sunday. There will be no early in-person voting on Monday. They did that for a number of years, but that has been cut out now. So Sunday is your last time for the in-person voting. The other way to vote early, of course, is by absentee ballot. So, election getting very close. We are one week away.
Just saying.
Right. Another big success community story, of course, is the Ohilka Lights display in Wellston in Pride Park. We have Christmas tree displays all over now. The Ohilco Lights has been the biggest lately, and they are shooting for 100 trees again. I'm sure they'll get it. They have started their registration, and it's posted on their Facebook, and we've had it in the paper, and it will be in the paper. It's been on the radio. We've got it posted on our website. But you sign up. The only way to sign up to get a tree, to reserve a tree, is online. And they're doing it a little bit differently. It's got to be online, and you got to pay at the time you order the tree. That
Okay.
way there's not confusion like, well, we're holding the tree for you, and then if, for whatever reason you can't or don't pay,
No, it makes
then that
sense.
kind of screws things up a little bit.
Yeah.
So you need to be able to make the payment up front when you order the tree or reserve the tree, and you go online to do that. You can hit that link on the Ohilco Festival Facebook page. They probably have the website too to do that, but I know that you can do it on Facebook. And once again, the Ohilco Society, they not only do the Ohilco or Ohio Hill Country Festival, but they're going to do the Christmas treats on Wellston Streets
Sure.
thing on the 1st December, and they're going to light the lights in the park with all the trees on Saturday, November the 30th. That'll be 1 week before they do the Christmas treats on Wellston Streets.
Love that.
I think there's supposed to be a parade on the night of the 30th too, leading into that. So we're getting into the Christmas
Can
season.
you believe it?
I mean, we hit November, Jen. We hit November on, let's see, Friday,
Was it
right?
Yeah.
We hit it on Friday.
Yes.
And so that's the countdown
few
to
days,
all the
couple
things going into Christmas.
Yep.
All right, but one holiday at a time. Halloween is coming up on Thursday, and they had the big block party / costume contest in Wellston on Thursday.
Oh man, and that's
we've
a
got
big one.
We've got some pictures to show you. Jeremiah is reporting in a story, and we've got this in the paper. 1,000 people attended. Some people think it was more than that.
Oh, I'll bet.
I've heard an estimate up to 2,000. But a costume contest that the Lions Club does, and then the Ohilco Society jumped in with a trunk or treat. So it was all kind of connected and coordinated. And we won't name all the names, but Adrian will put up the pictures of some of the winning costumes. The different categories there were funniest, scariest, prettiest, and judge's choice. And there was even some awards for the best band costumes as well.
Okay.
And just like it was in the old times, they still do it. Every kid gets candy, and every kid gets a $1 bill. All right. Now think of how many dollar bills they had to have.
That's a lot of dollar bills.
And then they've got all the support of the business community and that long line to go through the trunk or treat. So all that happened in downtown Wellston last Thursday. Big deal. Just like the trunk or treat was that the Jackson Area Chamber of Commerce did, the Thursday before. So, if you want to draw a crowd, have a trunk or treat.
Absolutely.
It doesn't seem to matter how many there are, they'll come.
And listen, even us old kids at heart love candy, right?
Right.
So it's just
Right.
a fun time to get out and enjoy.
Right. Put out the candy bowls and they will come.
Exactly.
Exactly. All right. So, okay, what else do we want to tell you about? I've been wanting to do this, and I just didn't have time, but we're going to go ahead and do it now. We've got a couple minutes. They had a great celebration on Saturday the 5th out at the site of the old Bloomfield School. It was a 100th anniversary that the Bloomfield Alumni Association did, a centennial celebration. And the centennial was in 1924. That was the first graduating class of the old Bloomfield High School. Okay, that building is gone now. After a high school, it became a junior high and then an elementary school. And it was closed when the Oak Hill School District, which inherited the Bloomfield schools, built the new schools, and they didn't need the old building anymore. But old building's been gone 20 years, but the Bloomfield Alumni Association has a celebration every year. And this year, instead of a reunion / dinner, they had a centennial celebration on the grounds of the old Bloomfield School. I was there for that. It was wonderful. They have a historical marker in place. It wasn't one financed by the Ohio History Connection like a lot of the others, but it was modeled after it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
There you see it right there. They raised the money for that thing.
Wow.
The Bloomfield people did. They did it over a period of 7 years. They knew 7 years ago, Janice Davis, I give her credit for kind of like getting that thing on the track, but a lot of people on the committee really worked. Felicia Hill, Karen Wyatt, Christina Sexton Inbody, and others. And they had money contributed and whatever, but that was wonderful out there. But that is on Dixon Run Road, where the old school was. You know, if you're driving there, you want to look to the left and you will see that historical marker. That was what the old school looked like right there. That's what it looked like when they built it, and that's what it looked like right before they tore it down.
So what has become of that property, Pete? Maybe you said and I missed it.
Well, no, I did not say that yet. I'm not sure how they use it, but the Bloomfield Township Volunteer Fire Department owns the property.
Oh, okay.
And I think the Oak Hill School District made some kind of accommodation so that it would kind of stay in local hands a little bit.
Sure.
So the Bloomfield Township Volunteer Fire Department has it. I'm not sure how they use it or if they have any plans for it, but they are the owners.
Gotcha.
All right. Let's see what else we have in the stack. The Shifting Gears Through Christmas Cheer program. That's the done by the Jackson County Gear Grinders, the successor to Secret Santa. They are taking orders now. They will be doing that now through December the 9th. And you have to sign up. You have to do applications on the Facebook page for Shifting Gears Through Christmas Cheer. But they serve kids in both Jackson County and Vinton County. They'll ask for certain information, and they do screen it. They make pains to see that in coordination with other Christmas gift groups, that if there's not duplication.
No, and that's good. Listen, everybody doing the same thing and working together. That's awesome.
Right, exactly. And then there's other programs too that will tell you about. The Wellston Fire Department does one. Yep. Jaffe does one. Those are two that come to mind. And, you know, there's much smaller ones that, you know, I may not even know about through churches and other groups.
There's so many.
Okay, tonight is the Sandy Borden Rotary Pancake Supper.
Pancakes.
Out at the Senior Citizen Center in Jackson, 25 East Mound Street. It will go from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. for only $5 for adults, $3 for children. You can get all the sausage and pancakes you can eat, as well as a beverage. They'll give you syrup and butter and all that stuff too. All proceeds from the event will be donated by Rotary to the Jackson County Board of Aging for the support of their senior citizen centers in Jackson County. This event with Rotary goes way back. And last year they named it in honor of the late Sandy Borden, who was just so golden as a volunteer.
Oh my God! Everywhere.
She was in Rotary, and I remember I'm kind of like a retired Rotarian. I'm an honorary Rotarian. I still try to do some things, not a whole lot, I'll admit. But Sandy was so invested in that club and in the community, and they named that event after her. For a while there, she was the chairman of it before her death. And so, great meal, cheap meal. Get all that you want to eat, take some home, a great place to go. It always draws a crowd.
That's right, and that's tonight.
That is tonight at the Senior Citizen Center. By the way, I did go to the Kiwanis Spaghetti Dinner.
Did you?
It was everything that Mark Carmen said it would be. For $6, what a great meal.
Yes,
there.
Absolutely.
What a great meal. Some wonderful people, the Kiwanians, and they did another great job last night.
Good deal.
So spaghetti last night, pancakes and sausage tonight. What do you think?
Hey, it's awesome.
Right, exactly.
And all for a good cause.
Absolutely.
So, all right. Well, Pete, thank you so much for coming in this morning and filling us in on the latest and greatest. And we will be back here tomorrow with some more fun stuff. I think some friends from ODNR will be here, so we will find out what they have going on.
Okay.
So have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.
From breaking news to heartwarming stories, the Telegram is your ticket to the latest buzz in town.
Headlines, sports, and entertainment and more in hand and on paper.
Get a print and digital subscription for only $7.95 per month. Delivered fresh every Wednesday and Saturday.
Visit thetelegramnews.com or call 740-286-3023 today.
Don't just read the news, be a part of it.